Díomh Corja. Hello everyone. Constituamid Galer you. How are we all doing today? Good, I hope. Now, this is my tabletop and I have this curvature on it. I'm going to narrow the tabletop down and that's going to lose the curvature. So I want to maintain the curvature before I cut it down. Quickest way of doing that is to trace it onto a piece of timber and I can cut that shape, use a little bandsaw on it and then shape it with the spoke shave, and I'm done and dusted and apply it to the top again. But you don't always have that privilege. Sometimes you'll come across a circle or a radius and you won't have the centre for it. And this is a method here of actually finding the centre. I've used the paint in here just to trace the curvature onto the board here. And I want to find the centre of that curvature. So the way of doing that is to take properties of a circle, and that is we apply what's called two lines, two little short lines like that, and they're called chords. And all you need to do is apply two, and you find the centre, you bisect them, and to bisect them means to find half. So you want to bisect the line into half, two halves. So in order to do that, you use a compass and you take a setting on the compass and you strike arcs above and below, and you come to the other side and you strike an arc above and below. And where the two arcs intersect, you draw a line down here, and that is half and that is half, and that bisects the actual chord. When you do that a second time, that'll give you a line coming through the centre of the circle, but you need two chords in order to find the actual centre. You do exactly the same process over here. You bisect the line, you draw a line through here, and where the two long lines coming through here intersect, you'll see that C there is the centre of the circle. So I can put the point of my compass in there and you'll see that I now have the perfect centre for the circle without having started out with it. I simply started out by tracing the thing onto the page. Now, geometry and maths will often take you out of jail in a workshop situation. I rely on it quite a lot when I come to tricky situations. It's so useful that you can use the knowledge of maths and geometry to apply to practical problems. Now, a lot of the time we learn all this stuff in school, we teach it in school, we teach it in trade schools, but how many of us apply it when we come out on site or we come into workshop environments? It can save an awful lot of time by having that little bit of knowledge, and it's not enough to know it and to have it in the bank. That's something you learn at school. The actual beauty of it is to show it in action, to be able to apply it and to apply it to real life situations to help you solve problems, because that's by and large what I would always be doing in a workshop. No matter what the practice, you're solving little problems as you go through the process of doing something or making something or remaking something, refurbishing. You're all the time solving little problems. So wherever I can apply maths and geometry to a solution, I will do that. Where I'll apply the knowledge that I learned in school and in college and in my teaching life, I would apply it to solve problems in the workshop situation. Now, that might be useless information to some, or useful, hope it might be, but just gives you a flavour of how the noodle works when you're in a workshop situation like this. So, Shinny on Love and you, that's all for today. Have a good weekend out there, and we'll see you soon. Feckin' to Galua or Feckin' Jib Galua. Tug the buggy, take it easy, and slán go fóill. Bye for now.